Hello everybody, I am here to glaze Warframe. I'm talking about hopping on that thing like a horse. That was more suspect than I meant it to be. Anyway, this video is meant to be a convincing note for people that have either stopped playing Warframe or have never played Warframe to start playing it. However, if you're watching someone, what the hell? If you're watching this as someone who has played Warframe before, go ahead and watch me glaze your favorite game for the next 20 minutes. Because I have a whole list of notes here written down on paper. You hear that paper? That's paper. I have a whole list of notes here explaining why Warframe is amazing and why you should play it. Uncle Sam wants you to play Warframe. That's not true. It's a Canadian company. He probably doesn't want you to. It's from Canada, owned by a Chinese company. So Uncle Sam, the last thing he wants you to do is play Warframe. That's actually not true. The last thing he wants you to do is commit tax fraud, which I'm also doing. That's a joke. Alright, the first and most important thing about Warframe is that it is completely free. Now there's lots of free games out there, right? And a lot of them are a whole lot of ass. But Warframe is not ass, because there is thousands of hours of content that is high quality, and there's also probably a couple thousand hours of low quality content too. But that's not important, shut the hell up. Anyway, not only is it free, but it's pretty much available on every next-gen console. It's on PC, it's on Xbox, it's on Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't recommend buying it, or not buying it, it's for free. I wouldn't recommend getting it on Nintendo Switch though. I got a Nintendo Switch, and it looks like a fucking PS2 game. The graphics are terrible, but that's more of the Switch's fault than Warframe's fault, I do imagine. But it's on pretty much everything. The Steam Deck, I think. Your phone somehow. Also, don't play it on your phone, but you can get it there for some reason. Anyway, so it's free and on everything, so that's already two huge things. On top of that, now is the time if you're a new player to join, because this autumn, the developers of the game Warframe, Digital Extremes, they said they'll be dropping a quest for new players that will help better explain the mechanics of the game. And yes, this is a 10-year-old game. 10 years old, and they're making quests for new players still. So if you haven't played in forever, if you're a new player, get in and start playing Warframe, because it is the only free-to-play game that I can think of right now off the top of my head that is literally making quests and making it better for new players 10 years after it was originally released. Who does that? More than 10 years, by the way. It's like 12 years or 13 years. So that's absolutely insane. They're making your experience better after 10 years. They're just not focusing on the whales. W Digital Extremes. It's like the only game I can think of that's free to play that still makes the game better for new players. It's just so insane. On top of all of that, let's actually talk about the game itself a little bit. Just not the, the free-to-play aspect, all that crap, because it's not the actual gameplay we're talking about right now. So let's talk about the gameplay. It's in third person. It's extremely fluid movement. It's all about the movement in this game. The parkour is amazing. You can dash and slide and go all over the place. It's just so awesome. When you aim in the air, you start gliding. It is amazing. It is the best movement in a third-person game that I've ever seen before. And on top of that, it's probably the best combat I've seen from a third-person shooter ever before. It just feels so nice to actually use the guns. When you shoot, you feel like you're really shooting. A lot of third-person games have the issue to where you feel disconnected from your player. When you fire your weapon, you don't really feel like you're firing a weapon, if you understand what I'm saying here. But in Warframe, you do feel it. When you hit someone with a big melee attack, you feel it. When you slam, you feel like you're slamming. And that's a problem a lot of third-person games have, is it's hard for them to make you feel like you're actually doing something. While first-person games usually do that a little bit easier. But Warframe is a third-person game that can get that shit done! Alright, let's move on. I have to flip to the next page, guys. On top of the gameplay being absolutely amazing, super fun, exciting, with some of the most fluid movement in any game I've ever played before, there's also tons of amazing cinematic cutscenes, and the game has amazing voice acting that goes along with a very exciting and fun story.
It is her, I am certain.
But of course your Archons have her. Tenno! Even hell was not hot enough to split them.
What does it matter? You have won. Narmer spreads across the system. Monuments rise to your glory. All who live, bios and not, kneel before you.
But not them!
Now, I will be honest, the story sometimes isn't the best, okay? I made a couple videos criticizing the story of Warframe at certain parts, but for the most part, the story of Warframe is very good, especially up to the new war, which is like 40 hours in the game. You'll be playing a great story for the first 40 hours, and every once in a while, there will be a hiccup or a retcon, but that is okay because for the most part, the story is amazing, and more importantly than that, the story is presented in a great way, with great cutscenes, great voice acting, most importantly, great villains. It's so awesome. And the game looks good. It's good graphically, so you get to look at good graphics of these great villains and a great story. Sorry for yelling. I'm just getting so excited talking about Warframe right now, which is why I used to start playing and get excited too. I need to calm down. I'm glazing too hard right now. I'm like a North Korean citizen when Kim Jong-un walks by. I need to calm down a little bit. Alright. On top of having good graphics, there's also tons of different environments to explore in Warframe. It has open world areas. It has, like, you're on spaceships, different kinds of spaceships, different styles of spaceships. You're on different planets. Some are arid and desert. Some are icy and cold. Some are like normal planets, like a forest. There's forests. I realize why I just said equates to me saying there's deserts, icy places, and forests. But it's cool and they're very different, okay? Check it out. There's underground submarine layers. There's Void, which I don't know how, it's like a really, the Void's cool, I don't know how to really explain it, but that's a place you can go in this game and it's really cool. There's 1999 Copenhagen. It's not called Copenhagen, but I'm pretty sure that's what the place is based off of, and I'm going to go ahead and move past this part, because that might not make sense unless you play the game. So play the game so you can understand why there's 1999 Copenhagen that's in the game of Warframe. Well, it's a futuristic space game, so no, it doesn't make sense that there's like a 1999 Copenhagen-like environment, but trust me, it makes sense. Even though I actually don't think it makes sense, but it's really cool, so check it out. Alright, besides the fun gameplay, besides the amazing environments, besides the great and interesting story, besides good voice acting, besides the cool cutscenes, there's also hundreds upon hundreds, potentially thousands, actually I think it's just hundreds upon hundreds, but there's hundreds of different weapons to use, with most of them functioning very differently. So like, a lot of games have like, oh, this weapon is the MP4, right? And you shoot an MP4. And this weapon is the MP4 except blue, so it's better. Warframe does have that actually, because they have normal versions of weapons and prime versions of weapons. But they have so many unique weapons that don't function the same. And they feel different to use. You might get two different assault rifles, and they both, you know, have 30 bullets in their magazine. They both shoot full auto, but they feel completely different in the game of Warframe. They sound different, and they look different. It's actually just so cool how I have so many different weapons and options to use in Warframe that leads to like hundreds, if not thousands of hours of unique gameplay just using different weapons for the first time and having fun with them. Because most weapons in this game feel really good to use. Some of them do feel kind of shit, but guess what? If you're having too much fun, you can switch to the shitty weapons even. Warframe is so good, it even has shitty things in it, so you don't have to get overloaded on how good it is. They're so smart. Anyway, on top of having an insane amount of different weapons to use, from different melees, from different guns, from bows, from kunai, from samurai swords, what the fuck are the katanas? Well, I don't know what they're called. I don't care that much. Whatever you want to use, they have it. Sword and axe and shield. What the hell? Daggers? What? The staff thing that monks have? What? and so much more. This is like just scratching the tip of the iceberg here. Not to mention they have like gun blades. Oh, there's just so many different types of weapons. It's insane. Dual pistols, dual machine guns, heavy machinery, big machine guns, all kinds of things, cannons, grenade launchers. There's a lot more. If I sit here and try to name all of them, it's going to be like if you ask me to name all 50 states at once. Yes, I know all 50 states of the United States of America, but if you ask me to name all 50 of them, I'm going to leave a few out. Yeah, fuck you, Oregon. Anyway, on top of having the insane options of weapons, there's also like thousands of mods that you can put on these weapons to make them act different. And a lot of mods can really change how the weapons act. Some of them just make the weapon do more damage. Some mods make the weapon shoot slower or faster. Make it have more critical damage, less critical damage, more status chance. All these different perks and different combinations with these mods means that you already have hundreds of different weapons to use, and now you have thousands of different builds that you can put on these weapons to make each weapon act different. It's absolutely insane the amount of options and customization that you have in Warframe to just make your arsenal completely unique and special as compared to someone else's and make it fit your individual playstyle. It is amazing. Alright, moving on to the namesake of the game, the Warframes. There are over, I think, 60 or 50 different unique Warframes in the game right now, and then there's over 100 if you count their Prime counterparts, which if you don't know what a Prime is essentially the same exact weapon or frame, except better. That's pretty much all it is, and it's like golden, so that's cool. But there's over 60 unique Warframes, I believe, and each of them have 4 unique abilities, and each one has 1 unique passive ability. They also have different stats when it comes to their armor, health, and shields on top of that. So you have 60 different options for Warframes, each making, like, they're all monumentally different. Each one is very unique and will play very differently. I mean, of course, some of them have like similar like purposes. Like 2 of them might be for crowd control, 2 of them might focus on DPS, a couple of them might focus on support, and so on and so on. But each one does have unique abilities, and they do need to be played different. And each one you have to play out for hours and hours and hours and hours to truly master. So that's over 60 unique experiences you can use just in the Warframes, not including the weapons. And it's absolutely amazing to have that many options. And once again, just like the weapons, you can mod them a billion different ways. In each Warframe, if you go online right now, if you just look up how to build this Warframe, you're going to get 6 different types of builds for that Warframe, each one to accomplish a different task. There's just so many different play styles that are completely unique that it would be impossible to ever play every single one. Warframe has endless options. And guess what? If those endless options are intimidating to you, and you're like, I don't know how to build this, I don't know what to do because there's so many different amazing choices to make, guess what? I played the game completely casual. I never looked up a build once. I just threw random mods on my weapons in my Warframes, and I've gotten to the very end of the story. I caught up to the story just fine without ever doing anything too grindy or too non-casual or too sweaty. You can make it through the whole amazing story and experience most of the game while playing completely casually and not trying to make some crazy builds. However, there is also a significant amount of content for those who do want to be sweaty, who do want to make the craziest builds. Things like Steel Path, which are like a more difficult version of the normal game. And there's all these options. If you want to be sweaty, you can play for 100 more hours of content, of unique content. If you want to be sweaty, there's also so much content you can play when you're not sweaty that's super enjoyable and super unique. And most new quests that are added and most new story experiences are made for the non-sweaty players. They add a few things that are for, like, you know, the tryhards, but for the most part, you'll be able to play through every piece of Warframe content that's important without grinding or trying too hard. And that's what's amazing about Warframe. It's such a good game, honestly. It's good for casuals and for sweaty tryhards. It's actually so amazing. I love it so much. I know you can probably tell I love it, but let me tell you more that I love it. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Alright, let's keep going. Beyond all the things I've already said that are completely unique, there's also a huge variety of unique different game modes. There's probably like 20 different game modes in the game when you do missions, and more than that if you include like special missions and unique missions that are events that happen every once in a while. You know, some of them, you know, aren't the greatest, I'll be honest with you. They do have some boring game modes, but for the most part, I really enjoy most of the game modes in Warframe, and it's more than enough to keep it spicy for you, especially if you're switching up weapons and switching up Warframes a ton. I'm not going to sit here and say that the game modes you play as, like extermination missions where you have to kill all the enemies, or, you know, capture missions where you have to capture a target, or interception missions where you have to defend 4 different sites and capture them, or all these different things. I'm not going to say it has the most unique and special amount of game modes, but the game modes isn't what makes the game interesting. It's the what you can do with your equipment and items and your own customization within these game modes. That's what makes the game interesting. But there certainly are a variety of game modes, so it's not going to be a bad thing. It's not like going to get stale for you unless you play for like thousands of hours. But it will be, it's not going to be the strong suit of the game either. And now let's get into a negative real quick, and I will get into a negative. I will turn it into a positive because I am writing the fuck out of Warframe right now. I'm writing the fuck out of Digital Extremes. So I will turn this into a positive. But the big negative right now is that there's still a lot of the aspects of the game in the early game are not properly explained, like the modding system, which they're making a quest for that better explained now, and like what equipment to use, what stats effects do, and all kinds of different stuff, how leveling works. The game kind of just throws you into the middle of the jungle without much explanation. And that is a problem that's hopefully going to be fixed soon with the quest, but just in case it isn't, because it might not be, Warframe, if you're starting to play or if you're coming back to it, you should know has one of the best communities in any game I've ever played. If you look up online how the Warframe community is, for the most part, it will be an extremely positive feedback that you'll find. The community in Warframe is amazing. Players will look to guide you. They will look to help you. If you ask a question in like the global chat, I promise you're going to be answered in like by 6 different people within a minute. It's absolutely insane. And if you're a new player, people will probably join you and help you with missions if you need it at like a moment's notice. The community in Warframe is absolutely amazing. You can even go on different like Reddit and forums and talk to people and they'll help you. Now, the only toxic part of the community is when you get into the building for the tryhards, but that's like whatever, it's not that important. But for the most part, the average Warframe community, the 99% of the Warframe community is absolutely amazing and the best community in my opinion that I've ever been a part of in any free-to-play game or anything like MMO like Warframe is. So if you do have questions when the game doesn't explain something very well, the community will absolutely be there to help because they love new players joining the game or returning players. Whew, okay. Let's see what I got here. I have to flip the paper, guys, to get all my things I've explained here. And on top of the weapon customization, as I was already talking about, with the mods, with the different Warframes, like what you can equip, your different kits that you can make, you can also customize each one with different colors, different add-ons that you can get to like make them look different, all sorts of different customization options. There's a whole section of the Warframe community called Fashion Frame, where it's just people that make their weapons and Warframes look as cool as possible and show them off. There's so much customization in Warframe that it is absolutely insane, and if you like that kind of stuff, which I personally don't, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but if you like customization and making like your own unique outfits and own unique like look, then Warframe is the game for you because there's so many different options. It's so awesome, and it's like such a huge community that does Fashion Frame together. It is absolutely amazing. But like I said, I'm not a huge part of that, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but that option is there if that's what you like. Next, even though the game is free and owned by Tencent, which is usually not a good thing, it does not shove microtransactions down your throat. There have been people that I've seen before that have said they've spent money on Warframe after thousands of hours for the first time just because they felt bad for enjoying the game so much without ever buying anything. So Warframe is not a game that ever forces you to buy anything with microtransactions. You're never really going to feel pressured to. Most players, even like the really good whales, the ones that have played tons of hours in the game and have paid money, will tell you, hey, don't pay for the in-game currency because you can literally get the in-game currency by trading with other players, and it's very easy to actually get because people do trade the in-game currency a ton in this game. There are people who have thousands of which is platinum, which is the in-game currency. They have thousands of it. They can buy almost anything in the market just because they've traded things in-game to other people. You will not ever have to spend money on this game if you don't want to, but chances are if you play enough, you'll probably start wanting to spend money just because you're like, wow, I fucking know these people because they made an amazing game. I want it to be healthy. There's nothing hidden behind the paywall that I can really think of. Maybe some cosmetics are hidden behind like special event paywalls. Like there might be like a summer like skin cosmetics set that you have to pay or use in-game money to pay for, which you can get from without paying. But there's not really any like weapon or anything you can actually use in the game as like an item that's interactable that you can't get just by grinding and playing the game itself that I can think of. In the comments below, if you're a veteran and there's something that is paywalled, let me know. But as far as I can think of, nothing's paywalled and nothing is really extremely hard to get, except some very rare mods or some very rare, like a 0.01% drop chance for some mods, but you can't even buy those mods. So I mean, it's like, it's not really paywalled, it's just fucking annoying as shit to get. Fuck, man. Sorry, that was some rage. I've been grinding for a certain mod recently and have not been able to get it. Alright, anyway, it's also obviously a multiplayer game, and while it is really fun with friends, I've personally mostly played solo throughout my entire time playing Warframe, and I've had a ton of fun just playing by myself. It's very catered towards the solo experience, while also offering a very healthy and fun multiplayer experience. If you're playing with friends or by yourself, either way, the game will be amazing and fun. I've played both, like I said, mostly solo, but back when I played on Xbox, I played with a group of 3 people almost every day, and it was a ton of fun with them, and it's a ton of fun without them as well. So if you're a solo player and you're like, I don't know if I want to play this game because it's like MMO-y, don't worry, it's very healthy for solo players, and actually large parts of the story have to be played solo. So if you like a solo story experience, Warframe is still the game for you, which is crazy. It's so insane. On top of the multiplayer thing though, there's also like clans and stuff that you can join, and a lot of clans are very fun. They give you a good sense of community. You have these huge clan dojos that allow for even more customization options. They're absolutely amazing. I have my own clan, it's just me and like one other person though, but you just customize your own dojo, do whatever you want with it. It is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to get too much into this because it's just too much to explain how much customization can be done in these dojos and how good it feels if you join a clan with a really strong community and how you can have so many friends just like that. And most people are looking for new clan members, and like if you're a new player that joins a clan, they're all going to help you. It's just, I mean, it's just so nice. On top of that, to even make the community stronger, Digital Extremes has this huge community event every year called TennoCon, where they hype up the new content they're releasing for the game and interact with the community and take feedback from the community to try and make the game better. So it's just, if you love that community feel when you play a game, Warframe is for you. Once again, this isn't necessarily for me. I don't interact with the community that much unless it's on my own YouTube channel. I love my YouTube community. Let's go, baby. I love you guys. But I don't interact with the community too much, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But whenever I have, it's been extremely amazing. And TennoCon is an amazing event. If you like that kind of stuff, Warframe is still the game for you. And then finally, the last thing I want to bring up here is kind of like not a huge deal, but when I was younger, I used to only play games if I could get like cool companions. Like if I have like a pet dog or a pet cat, I'd be more inclined to play the game. And Warframe has all sorts of different companions that you can choose from. You have weird alien dog things, weird alien cat things, robot dogs, weird mini robot dinosaur things, and floating robot things. You have all kinds of companions that you can take with you on your quest. And if that's what you're interested in, maybe you just want to get a big dog named Cujo, then you can get that in Warframe as well. I know that isn't usually something people bring up when they talk about the game, but I know when I was younger, I wouldn't play a game unless I could have a pet in it, and in Warframe you can have pets, and all that kind of stuff. So, that's really all I have to say about Warframe. This is just a quick rundown of everything you can do. I didn't even mention how you can customize your own ship to look unique to you. I didn't mention so many different things. I didn't get into the story, how good it is at all. I didn't even talk about the lore, which is what this channel has been focused on. If you want to learn about the lore of Warframe, by the way, there's all kinds of lore videos on this channel. But there's so many different things I didn't mention in this review I just did that is just incredible. But Warframe's an amazing game. If you're a new player, I definitely recommend playing it. If you stop playing, I recommend coming back. If you're a current player, tell people in the comments below what your favorite thing about Warframe is. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it if you've watched all the way through. Thank you to my members, Tangoinus, Jay, and Slime King 5000 for helping me run this channel. And thank you for everyone for the support recently. I have actually released 3 more controversial videos, in parentheses, recently, and each one has been received well. And I've enjoyed that because I can disagree with my fan base here, or disagree with my subscribers here, and we disagree. But that's it. We just disagree and keep moving forward. And a lot of YouTubers can't do that. They're like boxed in to having one opinion about everything and having to agree with the community on everything. But I like on this channel that every once in a while I can release a video where everyone disagrees with me, or a lot of people disagree with me, and we can move past it. I don't usually release those videos too often, by the way. Usually most of my videos are not controversial. But I have released, like, the, I didn't like the Warframe 1999 update, and people, disagree with me a lot on that. But at the same time, we move past it, and that's okay. So I want to say thank you guys for being such a good subscriber base that understands that me and you aren't always going to have the same opinions, but we'll have the same respect for each other. But that is all I have for this one. So stay blessed, stay happy. Hope to see you all in the next one. And if you're a new player, I hope to see you soon in the game of Warframe. Woo! Okay, I'm going to yap until it's 25 minutes exactly, because I like having even numbers when I record videos. Okay, we're here. Goodbye.